Journey to the Eternal Kingdom. A Young Christian's Pilgrimage. Chapter 19. Does Kingsley need an armor? Kingsley spent 3 glorious days at the Palace of Delight, and it truly was delightful. On the second day of his stay, he was taken to the armory by Devotee. It was impressive and intimidating at the same time. He saw rows and rows of shining helmets, shields, and breastplates made of the finest brass and gold. There were swords and shoes of all shapes and sizes, which made Kingsley realize that they were sized for both children and grown-ups.
Are these toys?
He asked, pointing to equipment that looked small even for him. Chuckling, Devote replied,
You are not the only little pilgrim who has begun this journey, Kingsley. There are others who went before you, and others who will come after you. No, these are not toys. Since today is the Sabbath day, and we normally observe the Sabbath by spending time learning more about the good King, let us sit down in a chair close to one of the windows.
Devote invited him, motioning for him to sit beside her.
Now let me remind you of the story of a boy named David. He was a young lad, a few years older than you, but he fought a giant when all the other soldiers were afraid to face him. The most important part of this story is that the giant had a sword, shield, and armor bearer, while David was dressed only in his shepherd gear, carrying a sling, a stone, and the word of the Lord, and yet he defeated the giant. Really?
Kingsley had heard this story before, but never in such detail.
How did he defeat a giant with all that armor and just a sling and a stone? That is impossible. With man it is,
Replied Devote.
but with God all things are possible. You see, David was angered that the giant was mocking God, so in the power and strength of the Lord he defeated the enemy. The one place where the giant was truly vulnerable was his forehead. When the Philistine saw that Israel sent a boy to fight him, in disgust and overconfidence, he pushed back his helmet and exposed his forehead. David prayed, took aim, and with a sure and true shot, struck him in the forehead, and he fell. Then David ran over, pulled out the giant's own sword, and cut off his head. That caused the enemy army to flee, and so a little shepherd helped the Israelites win an unwinnable fight.
Kingsley was very pleased. If the good king had been helping young pilgrims even that far back in time, then he was sure the good king would help him on his journey also. This comforted him greatly. One thing he noticed was that David had complete trust in the good king, and that was why he won the battle. Kingsley knew the journey would not be easy, but seeing the end result helped him realize that he must also be like David in order to win the battles he knew he would face. At last, Kingsley was able to see what honoring a proper Sabbath truly looked like. On the third day, Kingsley, ready to begin his journey, asked,
Is it time for me to continue on my journey?
Not yet,
said Faith.
It is a misty and cloudy morning, and you have not seen the view from the roof yet. I highly recommend it.
So Kingsley spent another blissful day enjoying the presence of people of like mind. The next morning, when Kingsley opened his window, he saw that the mist had passed away. As soon as breakfast was finished, the 3 girls took him to the roof. It was flat and easy to walk upon, and even a pleasant place to sit and enjoy a sunny day. Kingsley looked around in awe. Then he looked toward the south, and far away in the distance he saw long, rolling hills, green fields, vineyards, and inviting woods. Not dark and frightening, but peaceful and shaded. Kingsley's breath caught in his throat, and he exclaimed,
Oh my, what a beautiful country, one like I have never seen before.
Ah, yes,
said Deploria.
this is Emmanuel's empire, and the way of the king passes through it. The hills are called the captivating hills. At the top of those hills, you can sometimes catch a glimpse of the eternal kingdom. There, shepherds may appear from time to guide and comfort travelers.
As much as Kingsley enjoyed the wonderful people at the Palace of Delight, he was eager to continue his journey. Deploria told him that they had one more thing to give him. Together they took him back to the armory room. There, they equipped Kingsley with a suit of armor, fully tested and perfectly fitted, almost as though it had been tailor-made for him.
Oh, they are so shiny. I feel safer already. But why do I need this? I am only a child. Who would want to fight me?
he asked. Deploria responded by quoting
Ephesians 6:11. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil.
Then she added,
You cannot let your guard down, Kingsley, and think that the prince of this world would not want to harm you. If you are a servant of the good king, he wants you gone.
Kingsley felt nervous and a little anxious about continuing the journey alone, so he asked, all these 3 days, no other pilgrims visited the palace?
Oh, other pilgrims came and went while you were here, and some are still here.
Faith replied.
Because this is a place of refuge, and pilgrims are at different points in their journey, we do not actively introduce them to one another. If they happen to meet on the grounds of the palace or elsewhere, that is fine.
Oh, I see.
Kingsley said, though he felt a little sad. He had hoped for company on the next part of his journey, but he understood what they were saying. After thanking everyone who had made his stay so warm and welcoming, Kingsley headed back to the gate. He bid the porter goodbye and thanked him for his kindness and encouragement when he had been afraid to pass the lions. Out of curiosity, he asked,
Has any other pilgrim passed this way recently?
Why, yes.
the porter replied.
A boy about your age, perhaps a year or two older, passed by not long ago.
Did he give you a name?
Kingsley asked excitedly.
Yes, he said his name is Steadfast.
Oh, I know him. He is from the city of Babylon. He was one of my neighbors, but because of the age difference, we never played together much. Still, he was always very kind to me. If I hurry, do you think I can catch up to him?
Kingsley asked.
I believe so. At the pace he was going, he is probably beyond the foot of the hill, but you should be able to catch him if you move quickly.
Thank you, kind porter.
Kingsley said again.
If it were not for your encouragement, I do not think I would have been brave enough to pass the lions.
The women decided to accompany Kingsley to the foot of the hill, and they walked together, repeating their earlier words of encouragement as he prepared to continue his journey. So together they helped Kingsley navigate the slippery hill and continue on his journey to the eternal kingdom.